So we're here with Matt Jackson from New South Wales. How are we, Matt?
I've been better, but yeah, I wish I was racing still.
Yeah, right. We had a bit of a bad night last night.
Yeah, we got a bit of bad luck in the first heat, which put us at the back.
Yep.
And in the second heat, we went for a bit of a ride. But,
yeah, right.
Went to the hospital, got checked out, all good. Car needs a little bit of love.
Yep.
So we'll rebuild and try again.
Yep. On a good note, you won a Victorian state title not long ago?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we won that down at Simpson.
Righto. So that's not so bad. Like, at least the season's gone sort of a little bit better with that.
Yeah, this is a brand new car for us this season.
Yeah, righto.
New shock package, so it's all new to us.
Yep.
We're still sort of figuring it out.
Yep.
We've had a bit of success at Sydney, and Simpson was very good.
Yep.
I enjoyed that track, so yeah, we've got our King chassis going really well. Stevie Smith engine,
Yep.
singing, factory cane shocks.
Yep.
Yeah, no complaints really, and it did its job last night.
So is the car repairable, or are we looking at a new chassis, or?
We'll assess that when we get home.
Righto.
We think it's repairable at this stage.
Yep.
So we'll just get home and see what happens then. Obviously not racing next weekend. This might be our season done. We'll just see how we go.
Yep. So you was planning on racing the 50 lapper next weekend?
No, we weren't. I have to go back for work.
Yep.
But I'd love to have had done it.
Yep.
You know, obviously another huge show.
Yep.
But the Sydney 50 is a little bit later on.
Yep.
And there's another 50 lapper in Toowoomba.
Yeah, righto.
So
keen to get up to that one.
Yeah, we'll see. If we can fix it and we can get it back together, we'll have a crack.
So what made you choose Speedcars to start with, mate?
So my father raced speed cars, and also my grandfather. So it's been in the family for like a very long time, 50, 60 years.
Yep. And with your father and grandfather used to race, does that put any pressure on you at all as a driver to live up to their standards, or you just do your own thing? And
no, my dad's been very good.
Yep.
He always pushes me to do the best that I can.
Yep.
And he's provided me with some of the best gear that is out there.
Yep.
So no pressure. Like, obviously we want to win as much as we can.
Yep.
You know, my grandfather was Australian champion.
Yep.
A very long time ago. So yeah, I'd like to try.
So if you don't mind me asking, who's your grandfather?
Norm Jackson Senior.
Oh, righto. Yep. I do remember that name from back in the day.
Yeah. So he used to race. My father raced for a period there, and I got of age of 7. My dad sort of retired from racing and let me learn the ropes and go-karts, and then turned into speed cars.
Do you think it's easier being a driver having that experience in the background behind you, or does it make any difference, do you think?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
You've got knowledge of how to set the cars up, what it takes to do it, do the hard yards, do the maintenance. So you get taught that from a very young age, which helps a lot. So I'm grateful for all that.
And out of all these drivers here tonight, who do you think is going to take the big one?
Look, to be honest, there's probably 10 to 12 guys who have got a pretty good shot at it.
Yep.
I'd like to stay in Australia so we can see the Australia 1 go around all year. I think it's a shame if we don't see the Australia 1 racing.
Yep.
But I think if Nick Parker could win it, you know, he's done a fantastic job in the last few years, built his package up. They're a real nice bunch of guys. So, look, as long as it's a good race, everyone's going to be happy, but I'll be rooting for Nick.
40 laps is a long way too, and anything can happen in 40 laps.
Yeah, everyone's got to make sure they put enough fuel in, don't go underweight at the scales at the end. Yeah, the track's pretty fast. I hope they don't do any track prep and they just let it go away, and I think it'll be a fantastic race.
Great slide jobs if they just let it go away, I reckon, instead of just, doing a bit of track prep and putting it back, making it racy. We want a few slide jobs in the final, don't we?
Yeah, well, that's right. Just make the track as wide as possible so there's more time for a slider. People can make choices. Just try and slow the track down a little bit.
Yep.
And then lap traffic comes into play.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And do you think lap traffic will play a big part?
Yes, definitely. Apparently last night the guys were saying that the leaders caught lap traffic, and there were some passes being made around there, and people getting balked. So it always plays a massive part.
Before we go, mate, we know you've had a bad run this weekend, but at least can we give your sponsors a bit of a plug?
Yeah, of course. Diamond Air Conditioning, main sponsor on the car. Scorpion Racewear, Nigel over there, makes the car look fantastic. Always does my race suits and team shirts. QuickTime Race Shop, Anthony and myself own that. We sell the race car parts in Australia or Sydney. King Chassis, this is our new King Chassis. It's won 3 races already this season. You see Caden Brown running them, Michael Pickens. Quantum air compressors came on for this weekend. Can't thank them enough. Unfortunately, we didn't give them enough airtime, but hopefully this is making up a bit. Juts Haulage, the boys over there have helped us out this weekend as well. So if you need any haulage, call them up.
Yep. All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
We hope to see you back out on the track soon, mate, and we hope the luck changes a bit.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
The calm before the midget storm. They are going to get ready to wring the neck of these little beasts. Off turn number 4, the pole shuffle is now underway. Oh, Williams gets a pretty good run off the top. Drives around the outside of Payette. Takes the lead coming out of turn number 2. Are we about to see a slider? Williams just stays about mid-track. Getting a feel for the racetrack here. Oh, Payette's lighting him up. Pulls the trigger on the slider. But he can't quite do it. He wasn't close enough. Will he have another crack? I reckon he will. He throws it all at him, including the kitchen sink. But no cigar, and he's going to start out of P7.
Almost banging wheels. Prior to the start, Williams puts the visor down. We're about to go racing, and our second of our pole shuffles are underway. Nice even start. Williams will try to slide, but around the top side will go Keenan Fleming, and he'll lead them down the back. Into turn number 3 and 4. What is Hayden Williams planning? In the 5, will he try to slide him here in turn number 1? He's not close enough. Through 1 and 2 they run. Keenan Fleming down the back straight away. I think he's got this one in hand. Through turn number 3 and 4, and Keenan Fleming will move on. In the WA number 26, and Williams will move up 1 spot.
Brown will be looking to get the whole shot. Our chief steward watching them. What's a nice even start, and it looks every bit of that. We are go. The Brown pup rounds him up and takes the lead here for TFH Hire. Fleming still close enough to try and throw some sort of slide job if he's good enough and if he's game, but Brown now pulling away. Look at him rim riding the top side of this bull ring. Caden Brown, he's desperate to advance up through the field, and he will win this quite comfortably as he comes across the line.
So Stewart just pulled the belts tight. What's one more time? We're about to go 2 laps. Out of turn number 4, very even start. In fact, I think Brown got the best of it. He'll lead into 1. No, Harry Stewart around the outside. Stewart down the back straight away. What's Caden Brown do? Will he try to slide him in 3 and 4? No, he won't. He'll just sit back. He might just try to pull the trigger next time around in 3 and 4 and just rise the top in turn 1 and 2. Down the back straight. He's too far away. He's too far back for a slider. Stewart will slide himself in turn number 4 right up to the cushion. He'll just get the win over Caden Brown.
He's trying to just wheel him up track a little bit here. Look at Parker up in the heavier dirt. We ignite this one into action. Side by side, Stewart might get him here. Yes, he does. A bit of a push from Parker mid-corner. And Harry Stewart is your race leader. Nitro drops to the bottom. But I think he's lost out here. Harry Stewart's got far too much momentum. Maybe a problem there. Parker again on and off the throttle. But here's your man that's moved up to a front row start. It's all Titan Garage's Harry Stewart. Lights out at the last minute.
Lights are out. Underway. First of our pole shuffles to decide the pole sitter. Through turn number 1 and 2, and Harry Stewart got the best of it. Mosen dove to the bottom. I don't think that quite the racetrack is there right now. As we see now Stewart go to the outside to cover the line of the NZ10. This time by 1 to go. Harry Stewart right up there on the cushion. He biked up a little, bounced through turn number 1, but he kept the hammer down through turn number 3 and 4, and Harry Stewart will win the first of the pole shuffles to decide pole position here tonight for the Australian title.
All right, so they'll potentially cross over, I think, this time around.
Of course, Mosen was doing a bit more research then by finding what the bottom was actually like.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? It's going to be a best-of-3 scenario. Green flag is waving. Brad Mosen makes a good start. Look at the 7 of Stewart. High, wide and handsome as he rounds him up through 1 and 2. This kid can do no wrong. He is an absolute hot shoe as he rockets through for another lap in the books. This will be it. It's a best of three. He's not going to need a third one. He's going to put it to bed and say, hey, I'm your pole sitter for the 83rd running of the Australian Speedcar Championship. Brad Mosen's got to settle for second.
With Melissa Crouch from Murray Bridge. Welcome, Melissa.
Hello, thanks for having me on.
How's things going this weekend?
Yeah, we're going okay. Just getting some laps in and getting a bit more confidence in the car. So I think we're out of 5 in the B, so not far off making it in, so we'll see what we can do.
So top 4 will go through, I gather?
Yeah, top 4 goes through.
So one spot off.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's not a bad effort for the weekend.
Yeah,
well done.
We're
Congratulations.
pretty happy with that. So yeah, it's only our 4th meeting, so pretty happy with that.
There's only 2 girls in the field this weekend.
There is,
how does that feel?
Oh, I really don't like being branded as a girl. I'd rather people just see me as a driver.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
And I give them the same respect that they give me. So yeah.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear that. So how long have you been racing Speedcars for?
So I did 4 shows probably about 15 years ago when we first went into Speedway. And then we moved off into another division. My husband Jamie stepped in and ran the Speedcar for a while. And then we've been doing wingless sprints for a few seasons, and our Speedcar's just been sitting in the shed. Been on at him about getting it out, wanting to get it out and have a run, and finally we got the go-ahead to get it out this year. So yeah, no, having a ball, I absolutely love them. They're great little cars.
Awesome. So this is your home track?
Yes, yeah.
So how's the track stacking up, do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the slick track stuff. I prefer the heavier stuff, but learning all the time, always learning. So yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Well, they're really ripping it at the moment, I've just been told. Is that sounds about right? So they might put a little bit of water into it maybe.
Hopefully.
Get a bit of drive back into it, because at the moment it's just like driving on ice.
It's on the wall, and it's tricky to get that right.
A few big cars in the last few heats actually. So
yes, they did. Yeah.
Has that helped you go up in any way?
I moved a couple positions, so I was
as
able
bad
to
as that
finish.
sounds.
Yeah, I know.
But it has helped.
That did help me a bit. So,
awesome. Any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, of course. I've got RJ Engineering and Co, Tatiara Truck and Trailer, and Penrite Oils. They've jumped on board this season, and it's great support for us as a family. We've got 2 boys at home, so you know. It's an expensive sport, so anytime we can get some sponsors on board to help, that's great.
Awesome. So if anyone's out there who wants to sponsor, jump on board.
Yeah, for sure. Hit me up on Facebook. We've got a Crouch Racing page. You can message us on there. That would be great.
Awesome, Melissa. You have a great night. I hope you get into the A main and hope you progress even further.
Thank you so much. We'll see what we can do.
Thank you.
Then a couple of feisty young ladies, Melissa Crouch and Zoe Pearce. I reckon Zoe's been a little more aggressive tonight and has looked pretty racy, particularly that final round of heats. So let's see what's going to happen here. We're ready to send them. It's top 4 or bust here in the 83rd running of the Australian Speedcar title. We see Buckley on the bottom, are coming together. Jordan's gone around. Oh, the 16 of gearing involved as well. Is he referring to the West Coast Eagles, or?
Yeah, that'd be the one.
Ooh, bit of a long journey, mate. Good luck. Good luck with that. Hope you can hang in there. Here we go, 15 up on the board. Time to go racing in the B. Travis Buckley sticking to his guns on the bottom. Brock Webster, the Tasmanian, keeps the foot in the bucket and drives through the front of this pack. So Zoe Pearce is 3rd and Melissa Crouch is 4th. If it was to finish the way it is, the pair of them would transfer through to the Aussie Championship final. How good would that be, Phil?
Coming to life here in the B mains. At the moment, it's Brock Webster, the Tasmanian, the New Zealander Buckley, the Victorian Pearce, and the South Australian Crouch. So they've come from all over the country here in the B main. Have a look now, trying to slide past Thompson. Is the 32. He got there. Nice. For the next 7 laps, they should all go through. The battle really is going to be for that 4th spot between Melissa Crouch and now the New South Wales 32 of Daniel Patterson. We've got it right on screen right now. That's the battle on the speedway, John.
He's winding up for a big attack here in 3, and look at him go. He moves up into 4th. Crouch comes back at him. Can the young lady take the line away? She's stranded in the mid part of the racetrack. Look at the two leaders, Brock Webster and Travis Buckley. Gee, Buckley has been getting very, very close to the wall here, and look at him. He dive bombs to the inside. Webster comes straight back at him. Great racing in the B.
There's no need for these two to race the way they are right now. Why would they put a spot in the A main in jeopardy? Buckley now gets the spot. For Brock Webster, the Tasmanian has made the trip worth it. As he charges down the back straight away, gets by Jordan in the S11. Out of turn number 4, he'll take the win. Webster will move on. So too will Travis Buckley, Zoe Pearce, and grabbing the final spot, the New South Welshman, Daniel Patterson.
Field here tonight. The next driver in the lineup going from back to the front, the N32 of Dan Patterson. Starting in a position number 18, let's hear it for the Victoria 15, the young lady, Zoe. Great business here as he gets his championship medallion. Next up, starting out of position number 3, with your 20 seconds of noise, the Nitro, Nick Parker! There you go, buddy. Looking forward to the race. Are we going to do it? Yeah. Very much. That's the one to Nitro, and now we move to our front row. Starting out of position number 2. And following out to our pole sitter. He has been electrifying here this evening. Would you please bring the house down for the user, Harry Stewart? Alright, we'll see how he gets the medallion. Exchanges with another big driver from last season. He's quick every time he rolls out here. He's got to be really confident coming into it. Second row of the grid is a very good starting spot in this field. It's certainly says Brent Moses. Getting ready, carrying himself with the arm restraints on. Jump straight down to the last thing, of course. Get on with arms and one. The 83rd running of the Australian Speedcar Championship. The A main is go. Harry Stewart in the 7 gets a good jump. Mosen to the outside. Look at Nitro Nick. He finds drive on the pole line. And we've got a leader. Who is that out? Is that the 7 of Payette? Tom Payette has coasted to a halt. More drama here. It's just been a drama-filled weekend. The barnstorming Buddha. This will be an absolute tragedy if we can't see him out in this race. It's where experience comes to the fore. Almost trying to read the minds of your fellow competitors. We are set. Let's try and do it again. The green light is on. Harry Stewart nails the start. He drops straight to the bottom. Parker goes with him. Oh, somebody upside down.
Rusty Whitaker.
Yeah, I was going to say it's Rusty. So let's have a look at what happened down here in turn number 1 and 2. Oh, he turned hard right. He must have collected the back of one of his fellow competitors. I think it might have been one of the hardwire cars bouncing through there as well.
Yeah, one of them definitely got a massive hop up right the way through the corner and probably checked the guys up behind him. And unfortunately, Constantina ends up at the back and someone pays the price.
Oh, we got the right rear of Zoe Pierce. So that's the reason why he went hard. Can we get a green lap in this time? Restart for the Australian Speedcar Championship. We're back underway. Harry Stewart will lead him into turn number 1 and 2. Have a look at Mosen. Around the top side of the racetrack, and you'll edge your head down the back straight away. They're 3 wide further back. Caden Brown goes right to the fence. They're all over the racetrack in turn 4. Nick Parker running that low groove through turn number 3 and 4. He's probably committed to it. Car in the fence. Keenan Fleming. Left side is down. Oh, contact on the front straight away. And up and over goes Tom Payette. In the WA number 7. He couldn't get out of the way. So can we get some momentum going and get this race underway? So Brad Mosen on the restart. Harry Stewart second. Caden Brown goes to the bottom groove. 4th place, Hayden Williams, and it's Nick Parker. Everyone now up on the fence except for, is that Mitch Saunderson working the bottom? No, it's the Tasmanian, Brock Webster.
He does. Harry Stewart pushing pretty hard there through 1 and 2 a few moments ago. Nick Rowe with a slide job on Travis Buckley. He picks up 1 position. Let's see where that's got him at the moment. Up into about 9th or 10th position, Rowe, but out in front. It's starting to tighten up here. Mosen, he's feeling the heat. Harry Stewart's ready to pull the trigger. He goes for the lead in turn number 1. He makes the pass. Mosen can't switch back underneath him and he slides himself going into 3. Look for Caden Brown, the Brown pup. He goes ballistic in turn number 3, makes the move, and he's now up into 2nd. And here comes Hayden Williams. He looks to put a pass on Mosen. He gets him. Our leader gets the fence. He's caught up with the back marker and we're going to have a new race leader. Or will we? No.
Yellow lights. I think that might be that Caleb Curry. Or is that Jack McCarthy? It is Caleb.
All right, so 30 on the board. Harry Stewart with Caden Brown nibbling on his rear nerve. We've got the restart. Hayden Williams and Brad Mosen. Mosen to the inside. No, he can't clear him. And look at Parker. Nitro Nick looks for a bit of extra boost. Can he get 3rd? No, but he slides into 4th in front of Mosen. And here comes the Jack attack. Mosen now back on Parker, who switches back underneath him. Sensational speed car action for the Speedway shop. Caden Brown, he goes for the move to the inside. No, he can't get him. Stewart drives around the outside of him. Hayden Williams, perhaps in the catbird seat, watching these two go at it.
I think this track's starting to come to Parker in that 39. He looks like he's got a hot rod under him right now in the P number 4. Then we go back to Brad Mosen, who's starting to fade back after starting on the front row. Oh, Stewart in the fence there in the middle of turn number 1 and 2, red light.
I think that was
We're
Zoe
red
Pierce.
again.
Zoe Pierce riding had a big one there, but look at it. Put your hands together. Zoe Pierce climbing out of that car. That was a pretty nasty little ride there.
As he protected his race car, remember he's glanced off the fence a couple of times. He won't die wondering. He will stand on the gas until the very end. We are back underway with 26 laps remaining. Oh, Stewart cops the bike. He's into the fence. He rides out of it. Just stood on the gas as Caden Brown takes over the race lead. The Brown pup Stewart again into the fence. On Parker clips Hayden Williams right rear. That could have been disastrous. Mosen now takes him. Jack McCarthy on the bottom. It's Jack. The Jack attack with Parker now lunging back at him. Well, it's difficult to tell whether or not he took any of the infield there with that pass.
Battle their way through 3 and 4. On screen right now is Hayden Williams in that second spot. He too having a pretty lonely race right now, but look further back. It's like a hornet's nest. But there's our race leader, Caden Brown. He's got a fairly big lead now. 2.4 seconds that time by over Hayden Williams. Nick Parker is up to third. Through turn number 3 and 4, the action we're looking at now, Nick Rowe, Mitch Saunderson, also Brock Webster in the Tasmania 91. But there's our race leader once again, Caden Brown.
He's got some back markers right in front of him though. This is the worry. He slices to the inside of Luke Gearing. He's taken him. He's got about a quarter of a lap lead over Hayden Williams at the moment. He's got a similar gap back to Nick Parker.
He got the wall.
Oh, Caden Brown, it's not what you want in traffic, just catching the wall. Through comes Hayden Williams. There's Nick Parker. The brown pup. Could he do it again? Could it be his second win in this event? The one that eluded his father, Mark, who was a very experienced campaigner. He was second on a couple of occasions, his dad, in this event.
The right rear's come off Harry Stewart's car. Right down here in front of us. As he made his way down through the front straight away, he's got the wall a couple of times. You've got to assume that the rear axle has just come apart on the 7. And boy, was he lucky not to go upside down.
So what a shame for the Titan Garages and Carports team. Here we go. We're racing once again. The green is waving. Caden Brown, Hayden Williams, Parker to the inside. The Jack attack up on the high groove. You see them here really having to feather their way through 3 and 4 on the high line. McCarthy with a big crack at Parker. He'll slide up the track. He picks up third. Nitro now trying to retaliate. Hayden Williams still second. Parker gets through on McCarthy. And Caleb Mills and Brad Mosen both trying to get back into the mix. They're 3 wide through this corner. Caden Brown leading by half the back straight. He's absolutely flying here. And it looks as though he's en route to Australian title win number 2.
But down the back straight. Oh, we've got a car in the wall. Yellow lights are on again. Another left rear.
Yeah,
another wheel off a race car. It's Garth Thompson this time in the NT9.
For the brown pup. The way he's gassing it up, is he just trying to keep warmth in those tyres, or does he feel as though maybe there's some issue with one of his rear tyres?
Just look at this axle on the Harry Stewart car. It's actually broken at the bird's cage itself. So I dare say either the arm's bent and it's twisted the bird's cage around on the axle and sent the bearing, and eventually it's just melted its way through that axle.
Caden Brown's onto the infield, Brett. Sorry to cut you off.
No, race declared. Race declared. That's why they're heading to the scales.
Unbelievable. So the curfew has kicked in. The time curfew has kicked in. That's why he's animated in the cockpit. The word must have come through from our chief steward. Oh, look at these scenes. He's hopping out of the car. He's got the Aussie flag in his hand. Let's make some noise, Murray Bridge. Congratulations to Caden Brown. He might be New Zealand number 2, but I tell you what, he's now Aussie number 1.
Caden, you've got this place on absolute lock, mate. That's the second time here, and never in doubt, was it?
Oh, I'd like to think it was that easy. We struggled really, really bad early on in the night last night. We've got a brand new King chassis, and we're just still trying to find our feet with it, and especially when the track's so juiced up. We're not used to that back home at Eastern Creek. So we got thinking, and we got really good in that prelim night last night, but I couldn't believe how tough the racing was at the same time. I really felt like I was back in America in a USAC show, which is just a real credit to Australian midget racing at the moment. we don't have the biggest numbers, but I think with the racing we put on this weekend, it shows that midgets are better than sprint cars.
That's for sure. Now, you were saying how tough that race was last night. There was 4 or 5 guys up the front and absolutely all over each other, but this track was pretty technical as well. That cushion that had some real juicy spots in it, and then it was sort of powdery on exit, so it was really not an easy drive out there for anyone.
No, it really wasn't, and obviously a bit Harry got into the wall pretty hard, so condolences to Harry. I think he was the class of the field all weekend. I was pretty excited that I was able to pace with him early on in that feature because I feel like he was 2 to 3 tenths of a lap quicker the whole weekend. So we got working on the car, got it better and better each time, and when it mattered, Brad, my dad, Alki, Will, they got it so right. It was such a dream to drive, and nearly put it in the wall on 3 and 4, which is a scary moment after hitting the wall in the 20k to win show last year. So just so stoked for the whole team and to become a 2-time Australian champion now. It's pretty special.
Yeah, obviously the relationship you've got with Brad and Alki and your dad, you've been together for a long time since you first jumped into this thing, and you've been very, very hard to beat, doesn't matter where you go. The last month or so is probably the most I've seen you struggle in the midget for a while. You haven't quite been as dominant as you normally are, but it helps to do it when it's at the right time.
Yeah, exactly right. The car wasn't the issue kind of the last month. I was putting myself in really good positions to win, but I don't know if I was getting nervous or just overthinking the whole process of just racing a car. And I was led 2 races late and kind of bottled it and lost to people that we were faster than. So it was good to get that 12 to go, get a nice restart under my belt, especially after hitting the wall. And I feel like I put in my best race of the weekend. And it's just special that we won here in 2017 when I was a 17-year-old, and there was a lot of not, I would say almost guilt. Thanks. That I wasn't a deserving Australian champion, but I feel like the last 3 or 4 years I've really been deserving to be one. We're always at the front. We're always putting our best foot forward. So to get this one where I feel like I'm more deserving than back in 2017, it's just super special.
Yeah, it was a good race back there when Dane, you guys were added up the front there, but like you said, 2017's a fair while ago, and we actually haven't had an Oz 1 stay in Australia, apart from Matt Smith, who didn't actually run it on the car. So looking forward to next year. Hopefully you don't jump straight out and into a sprint car and you still spend a bit more time getting the number 1 around the track for us.
Yeah, we'll definitely be wherever we can every weekend. That's what I really love about my mum, my dad, my sister, all my sponsors and family. They just sacrifice so much for me to go racing all over Australia. I think in the last 3 months I've been everywhere, honestly, and it wouldn't be possible without so many hard-working people that give up their time and their money. So I'm just a lucky guy. But just while I've got the time, I just want to thank all my sponsors as well. TFH, Fine Line Trailers, Custom Stainless Interiors, King Chassis, Heater Design Studio, Fast Master, Rondelee Metal Fabrications. It's also cool to have Shane O'Sullivan here as well. Big man at Carlton, so he comes straight from the game today, 70-point win. Finally got the win that we were after, and then we got the win tonight, so really good day.
Yeah, as a West Coast fan, I didn't want to hear that bit, but well done, mate. How does it feel to be a 2-time, something that eluded your old man for so long, to actually have your name there once is something, but to be 2-time put your name in a really, really high yield? Yeah,
it obviously is special, and to try and get another one for Dad, it's really special because it was a race that eluded him for so long, but as I said, back in 2017, I wasn't really a nervous race car driver. I was kind of just like, I'm starting 2nd or 3rd row. Let's just see what we can do. But now I feel like there was a bit more pressure, a bit more expectation of myself to put myself in a race-winning position to try and get it done. And it's just such a relief to finally get the one back on the tank.
Well, mate, enjoy and probably keep the hire car off the track tonight, though. So. All right, guys, we'll grab Hayden Williams here as well while we're out here. Hayden, he was hard to beat. He was gone there. And did you feel you had anything if you got a few more restarts, or could have dialed the car in a little bit more with some shocks? Or
no, I felt like in that last stint, we sort of held pace with Caden. Although my tyre was pretty shot, I could feel it was blistered pretty badly after that first stint. So hats off to Caden and all his team. They deserve it. They've been the car to beat, for the last sort of 3 years, so they deserve it. And but to my team, just so stoked to be up here. Small team, with big aspirations, I guess, and it's just been so awesome to put this together. It's just been awesome. Andy, Calvin, Ray and my dad who come over here and have worked tirelessly all week while I flew in on Thursday due to work commitments. So, without those guys, I wouldn't be here. And big thanks to MG Homes, Lucas Oil Australia, Lucas Oil New Zealand for coming on board for this trip. And, I can't thank everyone enough. And big thanks to Murray Bridge Speedway for putting on an awesome track. This is by far the best raciest midget track I've been to. So, thank you for them. And then also thanks to the crowd for coming out. Thanks to the Kiwis for coming over and supporting us. It's much appreciated. Hope to see you back home.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, Andy Hassan and the guys have really batted way above where they should be for that car. It's quite an old motor in that thing, and they've really, really excelled. Now, this bloke who he's driven one of the cars that an Australian-made car, the Beretta. It's something special to have Brett Lacey on the spanners, mate. You were. I don't know whether you overachieved this weekend, or I reckon if you someone said you were going to get third, you would have taken it from the start of the week.
That was my goal coming in. It did shift a little bit through the course of the weekend, but coming into the weekend, I thought, you know what, if I can be on the podium, I've never been inside the top 5. I've been close, but never inside the top 5. So we achieved our goal. I shouldn't be unhappy, but with the start we had to the weekend, and then we had car speed in the middle of the race. Things didn't quite go our way, and probably still made some pretty rookie moves throughout the race, just on the restarts and doing different things. But look, I'm still happy. I'm still wrapped for the team. Brett Lacey's here. I wish I could have him every week. I think I'd probably develop a lot quicker as a driver if I had him mentoring me a little bit more. But congratulations to Caden. He's earned it big time. To get that second one really consolidates his place as one of the champions, and to be racing against Hayden and Mosen and all those guys, Curry there was battling pretty hard for a while. It's pretty cool to be out there with those guys, just showing that we can rag it with them.
Yeah, exactly. By your own admissions, you're sort of a bit more of a ragged driver. You're not the smoothest guy out there. So did you feel as the race went on, you sort of relaxed a little bit and worked your way into it? And with the 50 lapper coming up next week, do you think you've learned something that might just give you that little bit extra?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I was working on a few things with my driving technique, which then I sort of employed a little bit through that feature. And, like lap 20, I was feeling really good. We had some speed on the guys in front of us, and I hadn't made any mistakes at that point. So I was like, all right, we might be on here. But, it wasn't meant to be. But going into the 50 lapper, that actually did feel like a sprint race. Like it was just hammer down from lap 1. And didn't really feel like a long race. So I'm looking forward to the 50 lapper, and I think the tyres are really good, and the car's looking after the tyres really well. So, it should put us in a good place for the 50.
And lastly, your old man will kick your bum if you don't thank everybody that's on the side of the car too.
I know, I really need the car to look at while I'm rattling off names, but look, Alcott High, they're a great supporter of ours. Can't thank them enough for their support. Paul Charlesworth is here with me tonight, and he's like the dad I never had, and I'm just, to see the joy in his eyes with what we've achieved, that really makes it worth it. Jamie from Taz Auto Shots as well has come over and done a little Speedcar doco, not just for us, but the whole series in general. It's really great to have him on board. Petter Suspension Mornington, Scotty's really been looking after us the last couple of years, and it's great to have his support. Peninsula Tow Bars, Scorpion Racewear, they fit us out in some killer gear. Nigel does a great job with car designs, gear, apparel, whatever you need, give him a call. Wizard Race Products, Cruise Tune Automotive, my mum, my dad, my wife, my kids, everybody else that helps us out. Brody, he's my main tyre man and my main spanner monkey. He's still learning himself, but he does a great job. Ian, Anthony from Casey Performance Engines, built us a Ripper motor. And I think I've got everybody. Courtney for coming and helping us out on a pretty regular basis these days too. So, I'm pretty happy chappy. Yeah, I've got no complaints.
As you should be, mate. Nothing wrong with third in an Aussie title. So we'll get you up here with the rest of the boys, and we'll get some happy snaps for the car and a few trophies. And, best of luck.
Yeah, it certainly has been a great weekend of racing. Just unfortunately, the time got us there at the end. We didn't quite get the finish that we would have liked for that Australian Speedcar Championship, but I think we got a very deserving podium. There it is right as we speak on our Clay per-view screen. But outstanding weekend of racing. The track was amazing as well. Troy Frisbee and the team did a great job on the racetrack, and we heard Brad Mosen say how much he enjoyed it. Says the best Speedcar track he's raced on. So that's really a great compliment to the team we've got here, to Alison Dwyer and, of course, all the Speedcars SA. We saw the Nuckies down there on the scales, and we saw, Shane Collins, race director this weekend. Adam Curry was down there as well, Sprint Cars SA. So it was a great team effort. Everyone came together for a great weekend at the Speedway, and of course the Murray Bridge Speedway, of course, everyone from Aid to go as well. It's been a great weekend.
Yeah, it sure has. So on behalf of the entire Clay-Per-View team, we thank you all very much indeed for tuning in. We trust you enjoyed it. Look forward to the pleasure of your company next Saturday night.
Let's do it again.
Saturday and Sunday, and we're looking forward to it. So a big thanks. Please take it easy, everyone.
Keep going, bro. Keep going, bro.
He's out. He's out. Nothing left. Young bloke, you think you'd have a bit more of that?
Don't you know? The Australian Speedcar title is run and won, and Mr. Parker has come home with a third place. They declared the race 7 laps from home because of curfew. Unfortunately, Nick was starting to come on really strong, but in all, a good weekend and a top effort by the whole team. And honestly, the car didn't miss a beat all weekend, I don't think. Where is Mr. Nick? Where's he gone? He's gone. Well, we'll talk to Paul. I reckon, Paul?
I'm the happiest man in the world, mate.
I reckon. Yeah. Car was faultless all weekend, really, wasn't it?
It was, mate, yeah. To have, as I said, like I said to the guys before, I think they all need to pat themselves on the back.
Yeah.
So they've done an amazing job to put this package on the podium.
Yeah.
Especially on a night like tonight, with the calibre of people that were here.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I really am. And as I said, as a sponsor and as a family member to this team, I can't thank them enough to help me be a part of this as well.
Just a shame they declared that the car was really starting to come on with those last few laps. But, third's better than last,
exactly.
So, and like I said, the car was faultless all weekend, I thought.
Yeah.
A couple of little issues last night, but nothing major. And I think Nick, David and the whole crew are pretty happy with the result.
Yeah.
Here he is here. He's been struggling with the flu all weekend, haven't you, David?
Yes, yeah.
But you must be happy. He's still coughing.
Very happy.
Very happy.
Yeah, very happy. Yeah.
We'll have to catch up with Nick before we
I'm only the gopher though.
Yeah, I know. But you hold the team together pretty well. So
He's a matriarch.
I'm gonna go
that's
brownie
it.
anyway.
But anyway, it was a great weekend. Mr. Lacey's stoked as well. What more can we say, mate?
I'd just like to say one thing. Brock Webster from Tasmania, right? He drove an awesome race.
Got up to 7th, I think it was, wasn't it?
He, as I said, he led the B main from start to finish, right? Started, I think, second last on the grid, right? Out of all of these guys, I think within 8-9 laps, he was running 7th.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they never finished.
Broken spark plug, I think it was, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah,
mate.
that's a pretty rare thing to have happen.
Yeah.
Unlucky thing, really.
Yeah. And you know what? That kid, he put so much effort in.
Yep.
I love that team as well.
Well, they were worried. I was talking to Kim during the week. They were worried they were down on horsepower. They worried the car was a little bit too old to mix it with the big boys. But honestly, they done a top job, I think. And they done Tassie really proud.
Yeah.
The only Tasmanian here. Honestly, Brock, if you're not happy with your result, even though you didn't finish, to get to 7th in the A main against the quality of field that we had was absolutely amazing for a Tasmanian to mix it with them.
And I hope this sort of says something for Tasmanian speedcars.
Yep.
And whether people like them or not, tonight's proved that little Tasmanian team.
We need this division back in Tasmania.
Of course we do.
We do, because honestly, it's one of the most exciting divisions I've ever been around. To watch them in Tasmania when we only have 2 or 3 competitive cars really, and the rest were not quite as competitive. They're out there having a go, and that's unreal, But to have a field of 41 competitive cars, more or less, we lost 6 cars last night. We lost a couple more tonight.
Yeah.
But honestly, the racing was top class. I don't think I've seen better racing in any speedway event I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of things, the Classic, the Australian Sprint Car title, but I think this compares and is up there with one of the best events in Australia. Hats off to Murray Bridge, honestly. Apart from the smell off the river that we've had to put it up with all day, but apart from that, they've ran a faultless event. The track was reasonably good. They ripped it a couple of times tonight to make it so it was good for the drivers.
It was fast.
And it was fast right to the last lap, honestly. And congratulations to Caden Brown.
Yes.
On winning the Australian title.
New Zealand, Hayden Williams. Too.
Hayden Williams comes second.
Unfortunately, Harry Stewart was looking like he was going to win it, in my opinion, too.
Yep.
Look, like I said, when I was saying it before, there were 10 people you could have swore that could have won it tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Michael Pickens had some bad luck.
Yeah, bad luck to Michael Pickens. Yeah, I think he had an electrical issue.
Yeah.
Tried to get it fixed, didn't get it done in time, unfortunately. It would have been good because we had a GoPro on his car too.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, it was good to see Freddie Freeman.
Yep.
Like also over here checking it out.
Yep.
Hopefully he's another guy, right, that'll also try and help.
Well, he had the car up for sale yesterday. He come here and then he took it straight down because he got the itch again, didn't he?
Which is good. So
so
it'd be nice to sort of see that Tassie gets back on board
Yep.
with the Speedcars.
Yep.
Right. I mean, I've still got my 2 cars there.
Yep.
And look, just
we need this division back.
Yeah.
Honestly, with the tracks we got, Carrick, these things would suited to Carrick.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, we do need this division back in Tasmania.
I think
if we get a field of 10, 12 cars, all
you get
as high tech as these things.
Yeah, you get 12 cars
Yep.
out of Carrick.
Yep.
And trust me, there's enough cars in the state. I know
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah, exactly right.
And if you can put 12 cars out there,
Yep.
I'm telling you now, the crowd will love them.
So let's put the call out, Tasmania. Let's get these cars back in the state because honestly, this is one of the best divisions I've ever watched. And nah, he's disappeared somewhere.
Straight away.
All right, eh?
Someone ringing?
Yeah, 100 now.
Trailer. Front trailer?
Yep, no worries. Nick's on the call, so we're going to cut this video short. Paul, awesome weekend, brother.
No worries. Thank you very
I
much
really
for
loved
coming
it. We're not finished, of course. We've got a bit of celebrating to do tonight because the car that we was more or less on all weekends finished third in the Australian title, and like I said, you know, third baby.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not. And one more thing, I want a big shout out to Alison Dwyer.
Oh yeah, Alison Dwyer, honestly.
Right, for actually helping
Yep.
me to get you over here to make all of this happen.
Access all areas, never had a problem at all. A big shout out to Jared Ash too from Claber View for allowing me to get the access to it and allowing me to get some footage from Claber View to put with this documentary so we can really make this thing pop this in the next few weeks. It's going to take us a few days to get things organised. I'll get some GoPros up in the next week and then we'll start work on the doco.
And we should have some really, really good GoPros.
Oh mate, I've got some sick footage. Tom Payette unfortunately didn't finish the final, he flipped. I've got a smashed camera case. Camera survived, so the footage is going to be spectacular. Unfortunately for Tom though, it ended his final. But he was starting to come on too, so you know, we've got some awesome footage to come out in the next few days, the next week or so. So stay tuned, everyone, and thanks for supporting my page. Paul Charlesworth for bringing us over here. Thanks for your support, mate.
Anytime,
and honestly, like, I couldn't wish for, you know, better company for the whole weekend.
Thanks very much, Jamie.
Thanks, mate, and stay tuned, everyone. There's more to come. We've finished the Australian title. We're back at Mr. Parker's ranch, having a barbecue. So, Nick, sum up the weekend, mate.
Look, it's you know, it's always a little bit disappointing to come up a little bit short, but I am really happy. I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for all of us, you know, to put her on the podium in the calibre of drivers that are around us. You know, I think we're just showing that we're really a genuine contender anywhere, anytime. So I mean, my crew, my wife, my family, everyone else. I got so many messages. I just sat down to start reading all these messages that I got from so many people wishing me good luck or rooting for you from all over the country. So it was great to bring it home on the podium. We got a bit of money back from the Calcutta apparently, so that's all right.
Oh yeah, right, that's even better. Yeah, right, I forgot about that actually.
You know what? I've continued the trend of getting better and better every Aussie title I get. So maybe next year we might get her on the top step. Yeah,
well that's it, mate. Like third place can't be at all unhappy with that, you know. And by the way, everyone, like he's just picked it up. He was sitting down here over on the seat. Nick Lacey was down here doing some cooking, and he just took over to make it look like he was actually doing something. But anyway, so yeah, top effort from the whole team. Very happy. Like a few little issues with the car over the weekend, but nothing major, was there?
Oh no, nothing major at all. I mean, we rolled her in exactly the way it rolled out at the start of night one, and the car ran beautifully all night, and she's nice and straight and ready to go for the 20k next week. So
it's a shame it ended 7 laps, like because of the curfew, because the car was really starting to come on, wasn't it?
Yeah, I definitely had real good pace right in the middle. It actually just went really quick, and we're running a softer tyre, compound tyre than a lot of those guys up the front. So
Yep.
I was in a little bit of tyre conservation mode in the middle of the race, especially to try and make sure we got to the end. But if I knew it was going to get short, I probably would have gone harder sooner, you know, and sort of been a little bit closer to being in the hunt. You know, I definitely think if it ran its course, we're a good chance of running second. But
I did have a look at the tyre after the A main. It had a lot of blisters on the right rear on the outside.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad, do you reckon?
No, I've definitely seen a lot worse.
I've got a few photos of it, so we'll put it up in this video. But
no, it definitely that had at least another 10 laps left in it. No problem. So we would have made it all the way on that 38. But anyway, that's the way the cookie crumbled, and like I said, you know, I am pretty happy. That was my goal coming into the weekend. You know, I wasn't going to be happy with anything, but at least a podium.
So next year we'll head up to Simpson and go again, mate.
That's it. That's probably like basically my home track in Victoria. So we do the most racing there, and we're generally pretty strong there too. So bring it on.
Well, congratulations, mate. Top effort. Thanks for inviting us over. We have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's great to work with the team all weekend, catch up with Brett, Nick. You know, like these sort of blokes, you don't find them around very often. Like that work as hard as they do in the background. Like Brett does a lot of work in the background. A lot of people don't sort of see. But yeah, congratulations to the team, and we hope you get that top step next season, mate.
Thank you very much, and thank you too for your efforts of coming over and documenting the weekend, and I'm looking forward to seeing it all once it's all put together.
Oh, mate, I've got a lot of hours to go through. I think we worked out tonight I've got about 9 hours of footage, so it's going to be crazy the next couple of weeks to try and put all this together, but hopefully we come up with something special.
We do a bloody good job, so...
Thanks, mate, I appreciate that, and I hope you get that Oz one next season, mate.
That's it, that's what we're working for.
Cheers, Nick. Well done, mate.
Thanks, bye.